How's it going, everyone, and welcome to this video where we are going to be continuing the realistic portrait guide and drawing the hair. So like in all of the previous episodes in this series, I'll have the footage on screen here and I'll discuss the process that I go through to draw the hair like this. And I've done a few videos in the past on drawing different hairstyles, but no matter what image I'm drawing, I always approach this in the same way. And this isn't the only way and probably not the most practical way to draw hair, but this is how I normally do it, and so maybe you can take something away from this and it will help you out when you are creating your own portraits. So we've been using the same equipment throughout this entire guide, and like usual, I start with the mechanical pencil. This is the Uniball Crew Toga. It's just a mechanical pencil. I discussed the materials in the first episode, but I also have the reference image on screen, and so I'm looking at that whilst I also use the grid we created to see where I should be drawing all of this. Now, on a quick side note, I think I saw someone comment on a previous video asking why I used a grid, and so I just want to clarify that this series has been planned and put together to simplify and make drawing a portrait as easy as possible, so that anyone, even beginners, can give this a go. And what the grid does is it helps with the proportions and the placement of the features, which is something that a lot of beginners might have trouble with. Also, using a grid still requires some good judgment when outlining the subject. It just makes that stage a little bit easier whilst still challenging you to think about what you are doing. Anyways, getting back to the subject at hand, you can see how here I'm just creating the correct marks with the pencil in consideration to what I see in the reference image. And here I'm still changing the pressure that I apply to get different shades, but I'm not too concerned with making the dark areas really bold at the minute, because I'll come back and work over that at the end with a softer pencil. But I'll put sections of the reference image on screen here so that you can see a comparison, and as I draw this, I treat every hair separately and outline each one of them with the pencil before then working around them in more detail. And you'll often see me draw in a section and then move to another area or point on the grid, because the grid helps me keep track and make sure that I'm drawing in the right place and at the correct scale. And throughout this series, I've pretty much been approaching each stage of this drawing in the same way, and all of the techniques and methods can be applied every time you create other portraits like this. I'm going to let this play out for a bit because I continue working in this way until I complete the first stage of drawing this hair, and I'll also keep the reference image on screen. Okay, so now I've drawn in all of the hair using the mechanical pencil, but as you can see the drawing is quite light at the minute, and so I switch over to the darker pencil. I think this is a 6B, and I'd normally choose the darkest pencil that I have, but I could only find this one. But now I go back to the left side of the image and I start to really work over this and darken a lot of it. And you want to make sure that you keep sharpening this pencil, because these softer leads can blunt easily, especially if you are applying a lot of pressure. And I'm always looking at the reference image when I'm doing this and making sure that it looks okay. And I have to say that up to now this portrait does need some overall adjustments, but I'll most likely make them towards the end of the series when we come closer to finishing this. But again, I'll let this play out and I'm just working into it further with this darker pencil. So here I've nearly finished drawing this hair, and I'll most likely spend some more time on this near the end of the series. I normally just get everything drawn in and then I spend some time at the end of the drawing to go over everything and make some necessary adjustments. So don't judge it just yet because it's not finished. We'll definitely spend some time towards the end finishing this up, and I think in the next episode we'll be drawing in the clothing and maybe the background. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then please leave a like. I publish drawing tutorials every week on this channel, so if you don't want to miss anything, then be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Also consider following me on Instagram and Twitter for artwork, updates and more. I have another channel that I've created called Dan Creates with more content and some stuff coming soon. And finally, I have a Patreon page where I upload study documents, real-time drawing footage and bonus content. That's pretty much everything, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.